Hey, I want to show y'all some squash dressing. I know everybody's probably making it right now. We've been blessed again with more squash at church yesterday, and I got some Friday and had some more dropped off. So we've just had an abundance of that, and we're so thankful for it. So thought I'd make squash dressing. We'll eat. I'm gonna do a pan to freeze and then one for us each night. It freezes really well, and so I'm gonna double the recipe. The recipe calls for 2 cups of cooked squash, and I just sliced it up and put it in the water, and I salted it pretty good and boiled it until it was tender. And I went ahead, it calls for a small onion, and since I'm doubling, I used a medium onion, and I went ahead and put it in there so it could be getting warm with that hot. And there's some liquid, even though I put it in a colander and drained it, but it's okay because the cornbread will soak that up. So anyway, the recipe calls for 2 cups of cooked squash, and it calls for a small onion. Like I said, I'm doubling. And now it calls for 2 cups of cornbread. And since I'm doubling, I'm gonna put 4 cups. And so, you know me, I'm just guessing at it. So I'm gonna go in, my cornbread, I've already started trying to crumble it some. And I'm just gonna put what I think looks like 4 cups of cornbread. You can measure it if you want to. And that's good. And so we've got cornbread left, and we love milk and cornbread. Do you like milk and cornbread? Randy may opt for that tonight, but anyway, I'm cooking this, and I don't know what else I might fix with it. So to this, though, I'm going to add, it calls for a can of cream of chicken. Of course, you could use cream of celery in this too if you didn't have the cream of chicken. The cream of chicken will give it a little bit richer flavor, I think, than what the cream of celery would do. But both of them would be good in it, and you might just do one of each or whatever. These soups are so interchangeable a lot of times that it really doesn't matter. But anyway, and so now I'm mixing my cream of chicken soup in here. And other than salt and pepper, that's just about all of it. And I saw where some people will put a little bit of Creole seasoning. I've never had it like that. Do you put the Creole seasoning in it? I think that would give it a different flavor that I think that I probably would like. I don't know. I've never done that. Mine's just kind of the squash and the onions. And let me make sure I haven't forgotten anything. The butter. I've got to do my melted butter. Let me get it in there. Okay, I'm doing a whole stick to this. My original recipe called for a whole stick to one recipe, but I find that a half a stick of butter is plenty, and so I'm only doing 1 stick for the double recipe. And so I'm gonna pour that in there that I've melted. Especially if you've got some liquid left from your squash. I just don't add that extra calories and the expense and all that too of adding the 2 sticks of butter, because I mean it's going to take a good bit just to incorporate this butter in here with this 1 stick in with this. So this is going to end up being perfect. Now, I did salt the squash a good bit when I cooked it, but the salt and pepper is just a taste. And so I'm going to put, that's about a half a teaspoon of pepper, and I'm just going to taste it before I add any more salt. I know it's going to need some, but since I did salt my squash pretty heavily, you know, that's one of those things that you can't go back and undo. There's some things that you can add or whatever to try to take some of your saltiness out, but let's just see. Oh, that is so good. I'm gonna put just probably another, I don't know, 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Let me see what's coming out. Yeah. So I don't know, by the time I cooked it, and with that I probably did, but not, again, this is doubling it, about 1 1/4 teaspoons. But anyway, I am gonna put a little more pepper because I really can't see the pepper. So that's probably gonna end up being about a teaspoon of pepper. And I have sprayed the pan that we're gonna eat with, and then I've got a little small 8x8 that I'm gonna freeze. And this freezes so well. You can freeze it frozen, or you can go ahead and cook it and freeze it that way too. And so just to recap, it's 2 cups of the cooked squash, 2 cups of cornbread, a half a stick of butter, 1 can of the cream of chicken, 1 small onion, and then that's it, and the salt and pepper to taste. And then you're gonna bake it, mix it together, put it in I just sprayed mine with olive oil, and you're gonna bake it for about 40 minutes. It's really all done, other than the onion needs to cook a little bit and everything, but we'll come back and we'll see what it looks like. Okay, here's our squash dressing. I will tell you that you definitely would need to double the recipe if you're wanting to do a 9 by 13 of it, because this, doubling it did this little thing, and then I did a little 8 by 8 to put in the freezer. And so anyway, but I'm gonna show you what it looks like. It's so tender. Look at that. Look how good that looks. But I'll have it in the recipe in the comments so that you can see for sure, in case there was some confusion, since I doubled it and was trying to tell you the single recipe too. But I hope that you'll keep faith in your heart, peace in your home, and good food on your table. I love you, and God bless.